normal. Me too. So this is like the third time that we've tried to do this take. This is Pete's first video, and you like to waffle. So we're curious to see how this one's going to turn out.
Okay.
This is our second baby together. Third baby in our family. Jess is 9, so she's my bonus daughter. And she's so excited to be a big sister again, isn't she? Like beyond excited.
Yeah, she's really excited. She wants to catch the baby.
She's like, I've got my like fishing net. Where's this baby coming out? But we have gotten a lot of questions specifically on my Instagram. If you haven't followed me already over there, I'm Kitty at Birth Baby Beyond. I'll make sure and link it down below. And I popped up a little question box about an hour or so ago at this stage, saying that we're going to do an impromptu Q&A with Pete, and what questions you guys might have had regarding birthing at home, becoming a parent again, and specifically the partner's role in all of that. Yeah. So we've got a load of questions. I think we're going to work through 10 this evening and see how we go.
Now I have no contacts in, so I can't actually see them.
Blind as a bat.
They're going to be surprised to me.
You're going to be surprised. Yeah, Pete's never seen any of these questions. So we're just going to work our way through them and see how we go. We'll see if we can do it in one take, will we?
Yeah.
It's going to be a challenge. Okay, so the first one is specifically, did you have any worries about me birthing outside of the hospital? When I first came home to you and said, I really want to go for home birth. What was the first thing that came into your head?
No, I hadn't, because I suppose you instilled a lot of confidence in me, a lot of your training, a lot of your coaching to me, because you were coaching me, just made me feel at ease. I didn't really have any worries. I just, I thought it was the right thing to do anyway for me.
I was showing you a lot of the research, but also I involved Pete heavily in all of the decisions. So if I was having appointments with my midwife, you had the plenty of opportunity to ask the questions.
Yeah.
So you knew that if any emergency scenario were to arise, that the midwives who were going to be present had just as many skills as a hospital-based midwife to deal with that emergency scenario.
Like
we also weren't all that far from a hospital.
No, we weren't that far from a hospital, and meeting the girls as well, they were lovely. It just made, like, I know fathers play a part in it, but it made it, because I played a part in it, it made it feel really easy to me. Not saying that childbirth is hard, it's easy, but it's just, you were an integral part in that decision process. And you put my mind at ease, because I suppose everyone does have fears, especially
of the unknown.
Yeah, and especially even going into a hospital. I suppose someone going into a hospital, kind of like, it's scary, and
being in your natural environment maybe is more comfortable.
Yeah, it just felt more comfortable. And then I suppose, like, at home, you just
look at the camera.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, I forgot to.
Okay. It just felt really comfortable.
Good. And we did quite a lot of education with, like, sort of together, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like, even though it's my job, we sat down and actively did, like, an antenatal class at home. Pete also listened in on my hypnobirthing tracks at night time. We he just sort of talked about and did a lot of, like, practice makes perfect when it comes to the comfort measures for birth.
Yeah.
So when it came to my surges coming on, you knew exactly what to do with your hands in terms of massage and acupressure, and you knew where the birthing bowl was, and you knew what I wanted and how to fill the pool and all of those practical things. So there was no kind of second guessing and no.
I suppose it's I'm going to be really lame. It's kind of like going camping, where you have all your tools and your bits and pieces. I suppose
practicing putting up the tent. Is that what you're going to say?
Kind of.
Yeah.
But you know where everything is, and then
you don't want to do that and try and figure out the instructions before you go to a camping event. That's particularly a more complicated one. That's a nice analogy. I've never heard that before.
Okay.
That's cool. So I suppose the next one then is, what do you think prepared you most
for it?
Probably the videos, no? To kind of know what it looked like. I sent Pete a lot of. I'll send you my favorite. I'll put the favorite Instagram accounts down below that share kind of like home birth videos and things like that.
A lot of videos.
You're sick of those by the end of the pregnancy.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Well, I won't say I was sick of them. It's just
I watch a lot of them.
yeah, you watch a lot, and it's but like I still watched a lot of them as well. But it just
All it
made
takes
it
is a few, I think, just to
yeah
know what it looks like.
yeah, and
And
it
what
just makes
birth
it easy.
outside of the hospital can look
Yeah,
like.
it's like I suppose
It's hard
it's
to envisage these things. And
yeah. I suppose if you know because of your training, I would have seen hospital based ones, and I suppose when you see a home birth, it's completely different. Well, in my eyes, it was.
Yeah, it's generally in someone's sitting room or
Yeah,
bedroom.
yeah, and it looks more comfortable, and it's kind of funny. You kind of go, Jesus, why would you go to the hospital then?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely in that headspace. The next one, this is kind of starts where it gets a little bit less serious.
I don't know where you're covering them. I can't even see them. You're kind
of. Have we got the baby's name picked out? No.
Straight away.
Straight away.
You're like,
so, for those of you who don't know, we don't know what we're having this time. Last time we did actually find out. I don't think that there's necessary. I think there's benefits. There's pros and cons to both finding out and not finding out. This time we were kind of humming and hawing about it, weren't we? We were kind of.
Well, I give a big pro. Big pro is you know what you're having, and you know what clothes to buy.
Well, it does make a difference. No, I mean, Atticus is wearing like girls' clothes half the time.
Yeah, I know, but like we have a lot of clothes that you get gifted clothes.
Oh, that's true. We have a big bag of things that are pink and frilly that are only going to be really suitable for a little girl.
It's not really a bag, is it?
It's a big box. Big one. Big box.
Floor boxes.
That's not true. There's only one. We downsized. But yeah, that's probably that's a huge benefit. And I think also particularly because we're in very unknown times, being pregnant and birthing in a pandemic, perhaps knowing what you're having would give you a huge degree of comfort, which isn't something that we've experienced. But it got to a certain point in our pregnancy, I think, where we were just like, at this point, we might as well just stick it out and have a surprise. Yeah, exactly. And then the next part of it was, baby names. Do we have a name for this baby? No, either way.
We suppose we ebb and flow between baby names.
Turns out it's hard
to
name it. Never mind deciding to make another baby. Naming a child what they're going to be for the rest of their life is not easy.
No, I'm usually the one that picks kind of, well...
Yeah, you picked Atticus.
No, I don't mean pick. I mean...
You did?
Well, no, but what it means... when we come up with names, I kind of slang them for like a nickname.
You poo-poo them quite quickly.
No, I don't poo-poo them. I slang them. So, you know...
Well, they say that, typically speaking, girls come up with the names and the guys don't come up with them, but they shoot them down.
Okay, well, I haven't shot most of them.
We're struggling. We're on the struggle bus with that one.
Okay.
We think we have a name one moment and then the next we're like, why do we like that? There are lots of really cool names out there though.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find one that goes to Atticus. So the next one was, do we have any guesses for what we're having? Do you think it's a boy or a girl? Do you have a feeling either way?
No, I don't have a feeling. I suppose I kept saying for a bit, like, oh, she is.
You were referring to that's the only thing about not knowing is that the baby becomes it sometimes quite quickly.
Yeah, and I don't want to say it.
Yeah, so you end up picking one sometimes, don't you? Kind of saying he or she.
And then you kind of find out that you don't, like, it becomes how's the baby.
Yeah.
Or like, how's the bump, or how's...
This morning, I'm genuinely convinced that it's a boy. Yesterday, I thought it was a girl. My maternal intuition is completely off because last time I was so convinced that we were having a girl that when we found out that there was in fact a penis there, I cried because I was in shock. I just wasn't ready for the possibility that that other 50% chance was there. So gender sort of disappointment, I suppose, really is quite it's very real, and obviously I would never change a thing now. I couldn't imagine having Atticus be anything other than himself. Next question is specifically for me, I suppose. Do I expect to deliver early, on time, or late? So we were like super pregnant with Atticus. I was like 42 weeks.
Yeah, you didn't want to leave, and like you had a long pregnancy.
Yeah, and he was also a rainbow baby. This baby's also a rainbow baby. So I think for me, it's a hugely transformative thing, like letting go of that, because when you are pregnant and you're feeling all of the movements and it's just you and your baby, it's a lot to let go of that. So I don't expect to go as long this time, typically speaking, like statistically speaking. First time mums tend to be pregnant until sort of 41.5 weeks on average, and it tends to be that little bit sooner for every baby. There is a little bit of pressure this time though, because our home birth midwife is going on holidays just like 4 days after the estimated due date for this baby. So no pressure, baby.
Lots of deep squats.
Check out my other video on natural induction methods if that's something that you are currently at that phase of. The next question then is, do I ever resent Pete for his free time? And then how do you guys reconnect?
My free time.
I don't generally resent you for free time. For sleep sometimes.
Yeah.
Not even resent, but I think that we haven't gotten to a point where we figured out, because we are still co-sleeping, I'm still nursing Atticus and pregnant. So I do have days where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm running my own business. So I'm still working on top of all of that and trying to be a wife and maintain a house and be a good friend and all that stuff. So there are times that I feel hugely overwhelmed. But I think the biggest thing that I've realized is that, like, minding us as a couple and minding ourselves is key in all of that.
Yeah.
So me coming to you saying, you know, how dare you have all that time, you know, driving here, there and everywhere, you know, to get to work and like listen to a podcast or whatever, and me being jealous of it or getting a full night's sleep.
Yeah.
It's just a sheer sign for me to be able to share the workload a little bit more.
Yeah.
And speak out about what I need.
Yeah.
And
because we're thick, guys are dumb sometimes.
Well, so am I.
Oh.
I mean, if you want to put it that way, because I'm not speaking out loudly enough about it. And I think that's taken me a long time to get there, and I'm still probably working on it. Just being like, hey, I need a bath. Can you go and run that bath for me while I'm putting him to bed or whatever it might be?
And it's nice because when you ask me, it's like, yeah, it'd be really nice for me to do that.
Yeah, you like doing those nice things for me.
Yeah, it's just, I think...
When you're tired too, it's hard to remember.
Yeah, it's not that I swan about in the mornings or drive around and listen to podcasts for the crack or anything like that. It's
just the work commute or whatever.
Yeah, I drive all over Ireland, so yeah, that's the only time I get to hear stuff on. It's not relaxing whatsoever.
No, it's
yeah, it's still a bit of free time.
Yeah, totally. But I think the thing is you have to have time to kind of reconnect as a couple.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's something that everyone is going to be good at all of the time.
No.
I think sometimes we're better at it than others, and I think that certainly the more children that you add into the mix, the more tricky that gets. The lighting is totally changing as it gets darker outside.
Yeah, it's okay.
I think so too.
It is a kind of...
We don't have anything particular that we like to do together though. We like to walk. We like to drive. Just sit in the front seat and drive. Drink coffee together.
Kind
Get
of
into bed
really
early and just like talk.
It's really kind of mushy. Just really kind of simple things like going for a walk holding hands somewhere pretty. Sitting beside each other, just drinking coffee or a tea. Just being with each other is just nice. Like, we don't have to do anything crazy.
And just making the space for that is huge. So no, I don't resent you. Sometimes I'm a little bit jealous, but that's because we speak louder. And we're always learning in relationships. I think everyone's always learning, and you know, I'm evolving just as you're evolving, and it's about whether you move in that same direction together or apart. So the next question is about our parenting style. How do we actively practice gentle parenting? So this isn't really something I talk about all that often. So perhaps it's something, whoever put in this question, it's something that came up kind of through maybe seeing my daily life on Instagram. We did a lot of gentle parenting techniques with Jess, who's now 9. So I did a lot of kind of reading around that. A lot of, like, Rebecca Eames is fantastic. There's a lot of kind of parenting principles that I just, you know, thought were really interesting, and then just took my own technique on. What would you say is the kind of number one thing that we would do that is kind of more gentle approach? Or what would you struggle with, or do you have anything you want to kind of add to that?
I don't think so, really. No, not really.
I think the biggest thing is just remembering that little babies are miniature adults. So just because they are smaller than us does not mean they don't understand. And it's just about approaching them in a way that is respectful and open-minded and supportive, and coming at them to meet them at their level. So like when it comes to sort of punishment and things like that, you not getting down to their level and explaining to them, you know, why we do certain things or why we don't do certain things isn't going to be beneficial. So the likes of like a timeout, or like we've never like done like slapping or any kind of like really anything punitive, other than, you know, I suppose an example of this would be like, you know, today like Atticus was, you know, throwing stuff around in the kitchen, and, you know, instead of just being like, okay, I'm taking that away straight away and you're going on the bolt step, it was a case of getting down to him at eye level and explaining to him, you know, we don't throw balls in the house because we have to, you know, we could break a window, we have to mind our things. You know, please can we throw the ball outside if you want to throw the ball. And then second time, if it's the same thing, you know, we get down, we reiterate the point, making sure that you always have that eye contact and that you're coming down to your child's level, and saying, you know, if you do that again, if you throw the ball again in the house, I'm going to take it away and we'll try again tomorrow. And then of course if it happens again, you know, there has to be some sort of natural consequence to the behaviour, but it's coming from a place of, you know, explaining to them really clearly why we have to do things and we have to mind our things. And
I was reading a really interesting article, I forget the name of the book it came from, but it's the same, like it's along the lines of gentle
John
care.
Holt.
I can't remember.
That's another really good one.
But it was that idea, like, because obviously the age he's at, like
Atticus is 2.5,
two and a
nearly
half.
2.5.
Yeah, so he's gone through an awful lot of emotional changes, and because he can't express verbally how he feels.
Well, he's learning to, isn't he?
He's learning to, but there's a
It's coming out in
similarity.
different ways.
Yeah, different ways. Similarity to 2 and 3 year olds, maybe 4 year olds, and teens when they go through change as well. They find it hard to express their emotions. So, you know, it's I'm not saying you need to get down to their level, because some teenagers are 6
Definitely
foot 2.
taller than me. I'm only 5 foot nothing.
Yeah, but it's that same idea where you're trying to get to their level per se, and it shouldn't be, you know, as you were saying, punitive. It shouldn't be anyway kind of, you know, you don't hit, you don't slap, you don't do anything. But he does understand. But, you know,
I feel like this is a whole new thing in itself, isn't it? If you'd be interested in hearing a little bit more about what we have to say on our parenting techniques, and a little bit more about how we apply gentle parenting and sort of attachment parenting to our family style, let us know in the comments down below. I know it's something that's can be quite a sort of big topic. But in general, I was talking to the girls earlier on, my friends earlier on, about this, that parenting has such a thing around it of like, it's so hard, it's so tough, and, you know, yes it is, but, you know, I put it to you, would parenting be as hard, as tough, as difficult if we allowed ourselves to not compete, to not compare, to just sit back and do what feels right as a parent, as opposed to the constant comparison, the constant sort of, my baby has to be sleeping through the night, they have to be saying so many words, they have to be doing X, Y, and Z.
So I suppose the way I put it is, I'm an individual. My sleep pattern is going to be different to yours. Yours is going to be different to mine.
Babies are exactly the same.
And yeah, babies are the same. Like it's kind of funny. We kind of put them down as like this little programmed robot, and it's like they have to do X, Y, and Z and everything. Like we're all different colors, we're all different shapes and sizes, and I suppose babies should be kind of viewed that way. You know.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, we should move on because we're waffling again.
Yeah.
So the next one is, how do we plan everything without knowing the baby's gender? We don't, right? I don't think that we would be doing anything any different, because we practice co-sleeping and breastfeeding and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
We don't have like a nursery for this baby, and even if we did, I think it would probably be gender neutral.
Yeah, it'd be like,
I don't think it would be.
No, Well,
pink
whatever
or
bit of
blue
paint we
or-
have, we just stick it up on the wall. But it doesn't have to be. No,
It's even.
It's even, yeah.
We're very minimal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think it would make much of a difference. I don't think it makes a difference. Like Atticus plays with dolls. He,
Yeah.
it
He
would
loves
make
tractors.
a difference to how.
I don't know. I haven't got a tractor.
No,
And I
I'm not
drive
sure where we got
tractors.
that from.
He just likes tractors.
But it wouldn't make a difference to how we parent them.
No, I wouldn't. No.
What color hair or what do you think this baby's going to look like? So Atticus has. Jess has like poker straight,
Blonde hair.
beautiful blonde hair, and Atticus has like this crazy, like, I'd say it's blondie.
It's blondie, yeah.
It's blondie curly hair.
Yeah.
I've obviously got dark hair. I've never dyed my hair.
And I've got luscious locks.
It's not dyed. But you did have curly blonde hair.
I used to have curly a long time ago. Yeah.
Jury's out. We don't know. It'll be very interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe a combination of the two. One of your sisters has got like strawberry blonde kind of.
Yeah, my sister.
hair.
Yeah, strawberry blonde, ginger. Yeah.
You never know. A nice combination. And Atticus was born with super dark hair.
Yeah.
And now it's blonde and curly. So will I use a doula this time? And I did not have a doula last time purely because it was a really busy house and we lived in a townhouse, a village house last time, and it was quite cramped. So I had Pete, my mum, 2 midwives, and actually a birth photographer last time, which we're not going to be able to have this time. But actually, this time we are birthing in one of our beautiful friends' house. And I think she's probably going to be acting more as a doula than anything else.
Yeah, she was.
I was actually doula for her last birth. And that's how we met. So this is going to be, I'm so excited for it. I actually just had my sort of Women's Way Mother's Blessing this morning, and it was just, I'm getting really excited for birth now, and it was something that was like, we both just cried.
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny you came back kind of buzzing.
Yeah.
Like, how was it? You're like,
it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing. I probably have a whole post on it over my Instagram, and you want to go and read a little bit more about what exactly a Mother's Blessing entails versus like a baby shower. So I did like a baby shower last time, and like honestly, you couldn't even compare them. I felt so like loved and so ready.
Cared for.
Yeah, totally cared for. So this is the last question then, and this is one that I get as a lactation consultant all the time, particularly in my like preparing to breastfeed classes, and that is, well, how soon can I like express so that dad can get involved? The question is for you is, what can the partner do if the mother is breastfeeding or the other partner is breastfeeding or chest feeding, and what can you do to sort of bond with the baby? What are there other ways?
What I found, a bit of a hairy chest. I enjoyed actually having the baby on my chest.
Skin to skin.
Skin to skin all the time.
Skin to skin. You did a lot of baby wearing too.
Yeah,
I'll try
I did.
and insert some little videos and pictures of.
Yeah, I did loads of baby wearing. Loads. I love having baby on me all the time. And I miss that.
If we were ever like out for a walk or whatever, Pete would be like, "Yeah, I'm taking the baby."
Yeah, I took the baby lots. Even when you were like, no, really no. We've gone through. I became one of these people who just went through lots of different carriers.
Yeah, you tried and tested them all.
Because I liked carrying the baby so much.
I'll link our favourites down
the
below.
baby. I like carrying Atticus so much. That's what I'm looking forward to now. Kind of baby carrying so much.
Really nice. Yeah. And also, you seem to have a way with winding him. Do you remember? He was super, super windy baby for the first maybe like month of his life.
Yeah.
And it would literally be a case of, so we're all bundled into the bed together. I would feed him, and then I would just hand him over to you, and you would always be able to wind him something to like the shape of your chest or whatever way. You had this technique that I could never master.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. Of course, there's other things too. There's like bathing, there's baby massage, there's like, singing, rocking your baby, all of those other lovely things that, don't necessarily have to be linked with breastfeeding.
No.
So yeah, that's just some of the ideas. This is a bit of fun. Do you want to do another one sometime?
Maybe.
It's like I'm asking you out on a second date.
Oh, should I?
Let's see how this one goes.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on.
You're
and
welcome.
I will see you all in the next one. And thank you so much to everyone who has put in questions. And I hope that you have enjoyed this little video that we've done together.
Okay.
Thanks for coming on, baby.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.